Sometimes it's not about what you did, but about how you made me feel. And that feeling is something I can't ignore. The distance between us isn't measured in miles, but in the trust you broke. The hardest part of being hurt by someone you care about is knowing that even when you let go, part of you still holds on. I've learned that I can love someone from a distance, but that doesn't mean I have to keep them close. It's not the mistakes that matter. It's the pattern of repeating them without regard for how it affects others. When you've been hurt so many times, the best thing you can do is walk away with your head held high. Some people leave scars not because they intend to hurt you, but because they don't know how to love you properly. It's a sad day when you realize the person you trusted most is the one who caused you the most pain. I don't need your approval. I just need my peace of mind. Sometimes it's not about what's wrong with you. It's about what's right for me. You taught me the value of walking away, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. I've finally realized that some people are meant to be in your life for a season, not forever. You may never realize how your actions have affected me, but I've learned how to protect my heart from you. I can love you from a distance, but I can't continue to let your actions dictate my happiness. I thought you were someone who would stand by me, but you were just someone passing through. Sometimes I have to be selfish to protect myself from the energy you bring into my life. It's not that I don't care, it's that I've started caring for myself more. There are moments when letting go feels like the only way to truly love someone. What I once saw as loyalty now feels like complacency in a toxic cycle. People change, but sometimes what they change into isn't something I can accept. I've stopped giving you the benefit of the doubt because your actions no longer deserve my trust. You were once the person I trusted the most, and now you're just a reminder of why trust is hard to rebuild. Not every fight is worth having, and not every relationship is worth saving. Sometimes the best thing to do is to walk away before you become someone you never intended to be. You're not bad, but you're not right for me, and that's where the disconnect begins. I can forgive, but I can't forget how many times I let you hurt me before I finally stood up for myself. There's strength in knowing when to walk away, and I've learned that lesson well. It's strange how people can be present in your life, but still make you feel so lonely. I gave you my trust, and you gave me doubt in return. That's something I can't fix. I never thought I'd be the one to walk away, but sometimes it's the only choice. I've come to understand that sometimes walking away is the most loving thing you can do for yourself. Love isn't always about staying. Sometimes it's about knowing when to let go. I can't change you, but I can change how much I let you affect me. You've taught me to value my own peace more than your presence. It's hard to explain, but I've learned that some people are just not meant to stay in my life. The longer I stay, the more I lose myself, and I can't afford to do that anymore. I stopped chasing after what was never meant to be. Every time I give you a chance, you teach me the importance of boundaries. I used to wonder if I was wrong, but now I see the clarity in choosing my own happiness over your comfort. It's amazing how someone who once meant the world to you can become a distant memory. You might never understand the damage you've caused, but I've learned how to heal without your apology. It's not about closing doors. It's about opening my heart to better things. I realized that keeping my distance from you is the healthiest choice for both of us. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I don't need to explain why I'm leaving. I just need to do what's best for me. The hardest thing about walking away is knowing you'll never get the closure you deserve. I've spent so much time defending you, but I've finally realized that I need to defend myself now. I'm not angry. I'm just tired of trying to fix something that was never meant to be fixed. You've taught me the difference between loving someone and being in love with them. There's a peace in letting go that you'll never understand until you experience it. You may never know the full impact of your actions, but I've learned how to move on despite them. It's strange how people who once fit perfectly into your life can become strangers over time. Sometimes I stay silent not because I have nothing to say, but because I know that nothing I say will make a difference. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I started loving myself more. It's hard to walk away when you care, but sometimes it's the only way to preserve your own peace. I've realized that walking away doesn't mean you've lost something. It means you're gaining everything you need. Sometimes the silence between us says more than words ever could. Letting go doesn't mean you've stopped loving. It means you've stopped accepting less than you deserve. You don't need to hold on to people who aren't holding on to you. The hardest goodbye isn't the one spoken, it's the one that happens without any words. It's not that I don't care, it's that I care too much to let myself continue being hurt. Some lessons are painful, but they are necessary for growth and self-love. It's amazing how much you can grow once you let go of what was holding you back. I've learned that sometimes love is about knowing when to step away for your own well-being. You don't always see it coming, but one day you realize that you deserve better than the way you've been treated. You may never understand the choice I made, but I had to make it for my own mental health. Sometimes it's better to walk away than to stay and keep questioning your worth. It's not about losing someone, it's about finding yourself again in the absence of their influence. I don't hate you, but I've learned that loving myself means keeping distance from toxic situations. Some people come into your life as lessons and others as warnings to be avoided. The hardest part about leaving is realizing that you may never get the answers you deserve. The best thing I ever did was decide to choose myself over the constant disappointment. I learned to love you from a distance, but I couldn't continue sacrificing my happiness for your indifference. I didn't walk away from you because I didn't care. I did it because I finally started caring for me. There's nothing more empowering than realizing you have the strength to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Sometimes you need to release someone so they can learn the same lesson you did. I had to accept that no matter how much I wanted to fix things, some things just can't be fixed. I wish you well, but I no longer wish to be part of your chaos. It's not about running away, it's about moving towards peace and healing. I've stopped waiting for things to change because I've realized the only person I can change is me. I've learned that sometimes, no matter how much you care, you have to let go to protect your heart. You don't realize how much energy you've been wasting until you finally step away from the negativity. I walked away not because I was weak, but because I found the strength to stand on my own. It's not about loving you less. It's about loving myself more. I can forgive you, but I won't forget how your actions have shaped my boundaries. Some people fade out of your life because they were never meant to be a permanent part of it. I don't need to explain why I walked away. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. Leaving was hard, but staying would have been even harder for my peace of mind. I realized that the person I was when I was with you was a version of myself I never want to be again. Not everyone deserves to stay in your life, and sometimes the best way to love them is by walking away. You were part of my story, but I'm learning to write my own chapters now. I don't regret the moments we shared, but I regret the time I spent ignoring how much I needed to heal. Sometimes staying quiet is the best way to protect your heart from a person who doesn't understand its worth. It's not about cutting you off. It's about protecting my energy from being drained. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means realizing that what you deserve is far better than what you're settling for. It's hard to admit, but sometimes the most loving thing to do is to let go and let them be who they are without you. Sometimes the person you're most afraid to walk away from is the one you need to leave behind. I had to stop being your priority and start being my own. There's a difference between letting go and giving up. Letting go is about healing, while giving up is about surrendering your peace. I can forgive you, but I can't forget how I felt when I was with you. Letting go doesn't mean I'm angry. It means I'm finally at peace with what happened. The hardest part is walking away from someone who once felt like home, but realizing that home no longer feels safe. When people show you who they are, believe them, then walk away if they aren't treating you right. I've finally realized that some people are meant to be memories, not a permanent part of your life. It's not about being bitter, it's about protecting your heart from the things that hurt it. I may have loved you, but I love myself more than I love the pain.